So yes, I am Alex Shager. I am with Amigo Games, or as we were described yesterday, the esteemed competition. Um, it was nice to have that acknowledgement, frankly. One of the things that it's always delighting to see recognized is the fact that this is an industry that, especially at the retailer level, a rising tide lifts all boats. If we can create quality games, if we can encourage other companies in this industry to create quality games, those games are going to find an audience. And if someone finds Catan, someone finds Ticket to Ride, it's very likely at some point they're going to run into an Amigo game or two. And we're happy to be part of the ecosystem where we really all are trying to encourage each other to produce better products and sell more games. So if you are not familiar with Amigo games, we have been around a while. We have been around since 1980. The lineup you see on that screen are probably the games that people are most likely to have run into. If any of those games are not represented in your store, I highly recommend you come by the booth and have a chat with me, because all of these games are games that we have nurtured for many, many years, and in some cases decades. Bonanza's going on 28. We have our 30th anniversary edition of Take 5 out right now, and you can come by the booth and take a look at that. Similarly, on the end there, Saboteur's 20th anniversary this year also has an anniversary edition out. And the one odd one perhaps on that list is Clack. For hobby stores, that might be a bit of a surprise, something you're not familiar with. It's a simple magnetic game for kids 5 and up. But within our specialty toy area, that's our number one game. So we have an entire line of games aimed for children, families that really kind of go beyond what we offer to the hobby market, but certainly all of which can be appropriate to your store depending on the clientele you have and the audiences you're trying to develop. So anything on that sheet there, anything up there is what we consider to be our core evergreens, and we're always happy to talk about those. On all of our family games and kind of our core values at Amigo, you're going to find these 4 labels. Just 5 rules per game. We want you to be able to play the game as quickly as possible. European quality, whether we produce it in China or we produce it elsewhere. We always want that game to look like it was made in Europe, both from a manufacturing standpoint and from a gameplay standpoint. We have a certain vibe, a certain feel to a lot of our games, and European quality kind of encompasses that as well. Fun for kids and parents, because we've tested with both. And finally, proven top sellers worldwide. It's one thing to say, hey, we think you'll have success with this game. It's quite another to be able to say, hey, we've sold 11 million copies of this game already, and we'd like you to be able to share in our success. So, things that have recently been released by Amigo, and we want to make sure that you're aware of. Number 1 is our entry into the mystery realm with Unsolved. This is a 100% visual game. This is basically like an episode of CSI that's been cut up into 30-second chunks and then shuffled. So everything on there is 35, what you've got is 35 pictures from the day of a crime, before, during, and after. Look at the pictures either competitively or cooperatively. Try to figure out the clues, the people, the elements that are important to the storyline. At the end of those pictures, tell us who did it. I'll give you the who, what, when, where, and why. And what's interesting, what's kind of clever about it as well then, so it's non-destructive. None of those cards have been marked, altered, or destroyed. We're going to take 5 specific cards out of that set of cards. We're going to put 5 new ones in, and you've got a new murder mystery. Elements that are not important in the first mystery become important in the second one, and you can do that 3 times. There are 3 murder mysteries in each box. So the first one is out right now in the U.S. It is all the MSRPs here are going to be U.S., but you can do the math probably better than I can in your head. So it's a sub $20 box. That's available right now. That is available through Lion Rampant as we speak. Similarly, brand new within the last week or two, we have our limited edition anniversary editions for Take 5 and Saboteur out. So Take 5 is the base game. Variants are in there. The one we are most proud of is there is a really interesting cooperative game now in that box called Beat the Buffalo. So you create a dummy player called the Buffalo, and it is the job of all the players to score less points combined than that Buffalo player. And in order to do that, you're given a couple of action cards that you can use to basically cheat in order to make sure the Buffalo loses. So it's a lot of fun. It's a great kind of groupthink exercise of how you can screw this non-existent player so everyone gets to be mean, but they're being mean to an inanimate animal. So everyone's okay with that usually. MSRP is in the US $24.99. Available April, and of course it's May, so that means it's out right now. And this is one that for those people that have had success with, for example, the Bonanza 25th anniversary, we printed a lot of those, and we had a number of orders from big box stores, for example, that were interested in that product, and then 2022 came along, and everybody kind of slinked off into the bushes. So we have not printed as many of these as we have Bonanza. Of course, the Bonanza 25th is still available, and if you see all three of those games lined up, the anniversary editions, they look really nice on a bookshelf, so you can still get the Bonanza one, but these are not going to last as long as the Bonanza are. I would expect these will be out by the end of the year, so if you're having success with these anniversary editions, order early, order often. Similarly, we have the Saboteur 20th anniversary. Saboteur, Saboteur 2, both in the box. All of the World Championship promos, which have been cards that people have been chasing for many years if they're fans of Saboteur. And there are some other variants in there as well. MSRP is less than 1 and 2 separately. So this is actually a value. When we do a deluxe edition, it's a deluxe edition, but we still are very mindful that in our line, our core line, 90% of our products are under $20 retail. And that's kind of a thing we are proud of. And so even when we do a deluxe edition, we'd like it to be affordable. We'd like for people to look at it and go, yeah, that's worth the money that we're offering. And again, that is available right now, available and shipping from Lion. We're really excited about these. This is the Pick-a-Pen series from Reiner Knizia. They are roll and writes where the rolling is done through pencils. So you will take a set of pencils, you will roll the pencils, which will give you your die results. You will pick up, it's basically then a draft, so you'll pick a pencil that you want to use, and depending on use it on your score sheet, depending on the type of game, which one of the ones you're playing, use it on your score sheet and complete to get points. Gardens, all three of these, by the way, are available in the library to play right now. So if you'd like to give them a whirl, highly recommend you go into the library and try them. I'd recommend you start with Gardens. It is the most iconic and kind of simple of the ones to explain. It's basically fill in a garden area. You can see a little corner of it there. But effectively, you're using your pencils either to create monochrome areas, so fill it all with one color, or get all 5 colors into score. Super easy to explain, very simple. Crypts, you're trying to get pairs or trios of symbols of the same color, either horizontally or vertically. Easy to explain, but the combos, the way that the game develops and how you use combos in that game, I think makes the gameplay a little more challenging than Gardens. And Reefs is definitely the most complex of the group, but you are basically, again, creating paths. So you are drawing paths with each of the 5 colors, trying not to let them overlap in order to touch treasure points that are on the grid. All 3 of those, MSRP is under $20 in Canada. All 3 are available right now. And again, they're in the library if you'd like to give them a whirl. Now we get to talk about stuff we have coming up. So, on the left there, we have a new edition of Schrodinger's Cats. This is a game that's been out for a while. Ninth Level Games has been carrying it. It's had quite a bit of success with it. And we'll have an English edition of the new edition out. All 5 of these games should be end of June right now is what we're projecting. Well, we hope to have them at Origins as our launch, but we very much are hopeful that we're going to have them in stores that same time so that whatever buzz we get coming out of Origins, you guys can take advantage of in your stores. Magic Dwarf is the card game version of our Kinderspiel des Jahres winner from 2022, Magic Mountain. So it's a really interesting, it's a lot of fun. There's both a cooperative and a competitive game that's in that box. I have a German copy with me. If that's something that you're really interested in, we can certainly get it on a game table tonight. I'm going to skip to the other end there. Cloudship is a cooperative dexterity game. The goal being is you are trying to drop marbles or balls, small plastic balls, out of a cloud ship that you are all dangling off of ropes. It's hard to explain in person, but it's one of those where visually you see this and both you'll understand it and you'll be very excited to kind of manipulate the ship. So cooperative, but it's cooperative dexterity. Holly Golly is going to be the new English version of what was previously been Fruit Punch. Fruit Punch is out of print and will not be coming back. Unfortunately, the price we got it in 2018 for has significantly changed in 2023, and we were not going to be able to produce it for the same price that we were able to offer that previously. So it seemed like a good time to make the move to kind of join the rest of the world with Haligali, which is basically the same game. Instead of a squeaky banana, you'll have the bell. But that'll be out again end of June. And the game we are most excited about, the game that we think is going to be a sleeper hit, which is Kabanga. We have no less a person than Stephen Bonacore, who ended up playing this at BGGCon last year. And I keep having to ship him cases because he keeps giving them away to people, which is great. You know, you kind of want to say to Stephen, you know, this is amazing. I love this support. Can you save a little of it until I can sell a couple of copies, which would be really helpful? But no, he's been great. He's doing a 120-person event at Origins using this game. But it's a very simple, very easy game. It feels like a very classic Amigo game. It's a number line game, so you're playing cards in 4 suits, trying to create as small a gap between 2 numbers on our display as you can. Because the larger the gap is, the more opportunities other people will have to discard cards and for you to have to draw cards. That is one we will have on a table this evening in the game room, so if you see me, I'll have a copy. I'll be happy to give you the world, but it's a lot of fun and probably is going to be our sleeper hit of the summer. So those are the games that will be coming out late June, and that is our games for 24. These were games we expected to have August, September. We were ahead of schedule, which almost never happens in this industry, so I'll actually get to take my fall and just enjoy watching other people try to find boats to get their stuff over here. So I feel for them. In fact, an interesting story, the pick-a-pens that we have, these arrived at our port, they got unloaded, the boat left Baltimore and hit a bridge. These were on the Vala. And the Vala was supposed to go back to Europe and pick up our anniversary editions and bring those back over. So we had to scramble and get a new boat for those. But yeah, no, those are artifacts from the boat that hit the bridge in Baltimore. But it is it's always exciting. So it's nice to have the peace of mind that we can talk about these games and they're going to be available and you can get them through your friendly local retailer and your friendly local distributor. So. On that note, we have reached the end of the prepared notes. What questions can I answer for you about the Amigo line?